Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to the weekly review special for week 16 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, I brought in 5,563 points, up from last week's 5313, which is also a new record, breaking last week's best round score. Current virtual best up to 5,707, up from the 5511 of a week ago, and the all-time virtual best also seeing an increase up now to 9,352. Pretty solid jump from last week's 9164. Breaking down the games individually, PCM 20 in the career mode, we have 964 points. That was the end of the season. That was a solid end of the season as we added in over 100 points in this last week. And it does move it into the top 5 of the all-time virtual best, which is nice. But it's also the end of the season, and we also lost our top rider. So I'm not sure we're going to quite repeat that this next season. And that could end up being our high score in the end for this series, potentially, as we do have PCM 21 on its way fairly soon, and I'm not sure that we'll get beyond this season in that series. And if we don't get beyond this season, I'm anticipating that this season's just going to be a smaller score. We're deeper at the top end of our squad, but we don't have the dominance that Rodriguez offered us, and certainly not the quality and points we were getting out of the 2 Grand Tour wins that he had and the podium in the third. In the Champions Series, though, this one's nearly at that 1,000 cap and probably going to hit it this coming week. 981 points now, also into that top 5 of the all-time virtual best. 3 points shy of second place, but still outside of the podium. Definitely going to hit it next week. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. In the Women's Tour, 199 points, just 100 shy of our best round, and that's all because we're in Continental Pro. Because we're not as good as we were, but we're in better races overall. Just through the Cascade Cycling Classic right now, so plenty of season still to go. Plenty of opportunities to pick up that 100 points. In Zwift, small increase, just 8 points higher. I'm having a little bit flux, a little bit up and down. I actually put a tiny amount of weight back on. A week ago, I ate a little too much. This week, I didn't have an issue with that, but I wasn't on the bike anywhere near as much, and I was stressed. I got some sleep, but it was a difficult week. I was exhausted throughout this week. Long story short, and most of you should have heard this by now, we lost our employee. She moved out of state, and our new employee, there's a week and a half overlap, and I'm the one picking up that slack. That's the reason why a lot of the videos this week were shorter, as I'm just scrambling to try to get things in, and then just I'm working from 6:30 a.m. till about 8:30 at night every day right now, between everything, about 14 hours every day, and not getting any rest on the weekend either. So busy. Well, anyway, FM21 Perfect Manager, 79 points, coming up on our high score that we had previously at a 104. We're a little past midway through the season. However, I don't know. I don't know if this season's going to be better than the last. I think we're kind of on track to be right about where we were. The first season, it was enough to win the league. Second season, we scored the exact same number of points, finished second, and now we're in our third season, and we might possibly have the same thing. This time, the top team's not that much better than everybody else. They were the third place team a season ago. We were the second place team. Naturally, we should have shifted up, but I think they've made some more improvements in the offseason, and I mostly have the same team. We had a couple rough stretches so far this season, but otherwise we've played well. We're certainly losing less than any other team, but we're not quite getting the goals. And the main reason for that was our highest assist man, Reed, who is also a player coach. Player scout, retired. Now he's just our scout. Tried to talk him out of it. He didn't. We've had a hard time replacing those assists that he provided. The chances that he created for us has been a little bit hard to replace this season. We've found some guys that are starting to step up, and their numbers are going up here as the season goes on, and they're definitely improving steadily in that department. So we'll see if we can make a late season push. Otherwise, great week. I mean, 5,500 points. Just a couple weeks ago, we had never ever scored 5,000 in a week, and here we are now at 5,500 again for the third straight week, or is it 4 straight weeks now? We've beat our best round score. However, I think that stops now. The 55-63 this week is going to remain the record. 2 simple reasons. Champions is on the verge of hitting 1,000. It's only got 19 points to go, and I'm capping it there, even though I will definitely outscore that. It's a modded series. I'm not going to allow it to go beyond 1,000, even though we did have one do that previously, but that was a standard stock run. I'm not going to let a modded one go beyond 1,000. I just don't think that's fair. That's right. I had an advantage in this series, even if we're playing on the hardest difficulty. So that's only going to get 19 more points. And while 19 more points obviously would make us higher, it's the end of the career mode season. 964 points wiped away next week, and we start from scratch. So even if we have a good start, we'll have 100 points, and that's 864 points subtracted and absent and missing. We've already started that season, so there is that factor. We'll be a little further in, but again, even if we get to 150, it's 800 points. I'm not replacing 800 points elsewhere, especially with champions almost maxed out right now, and will stay maxed out, going forward. Might be the last regular season we have with the upcoming release of PCM 21. Well, anyway, on that all-time virtual best, of course, those two both move into the top 5, and one of them will crack that podium this next week, so that's solid. And then on the outside looking in, the only movement was Zwift scored a little bit more and moved up one spot, passing our other active series, the PCM 20 Women's Tour, ironically, of all things, of 75 games on our list, 65 games outside of the top 10 that we're looking at, and we have got 3 of those, right? I mean, that's 1 in 20. Talking about small odds here, 5%, and you pass one game, and it happens to be one of the other active ones. Again, irony. We've had that a little bit here. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this review special. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Be safe out there. Bye for now.